Yo, what's going on, everybody? How you doing? You know who this is, the chosen one, Gabriel Skywalker from the DFS Club, coming to you guys with a UFC 267 video, DraftKings, FanDuel, hell, maybe even some sports wagering. If you're new, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, leave me a comment down below, and I'd really appreciate it, guys. So without further ado, let's start the freaking show. Let's go. All right, y'all. So I'm not alone today. We've been talking about doing this for years, guys. Years. I used to watch the DFSWhisperers before I even started doing videos. They've been an inspiration to me to do it. And what's up, Eazy? How you doing?
Good? What's good? Man, we finally getting to do a video together.
Woo! We're making history, man.
Hey, man, it's been a long time coming. It's been a long time.
Too long, man. I try to get Space on here too, but I think he's busy.
Hey, you know Space is at the Cheesecake Factory with your boy. you know what he's up to.
I know. He'll deny it. He'll deny it.
He'll deny it, but we all know what he's doing. But hey, it's fun to be on the channel. Let's talk some fights.
All right. So yeah, guys. Real quick, where can people find you on YouTube?
Oh yeah, you can find us on YouTube at the DFSWhisperers. We got a new channel. Once you click youtube.com/C/DFSWhisperers2, should lead you to our channel right there, almost at 1K again. Hopefully, once we get there, the algorithm could be nice to us again and bring all the followers back. But appreciate everyone that's been supporting since day one. DFS Club, Whisper Squad. Y'all know what it is.
Yeah,
too sweet.
I'll leave the description in the I'll leave the link in the description below so you can find the DFSWhisperers, guys.
Yeah, got it. So how you feeling about this card?
A lot of fights, which we can never complain about.
No.
But I think if we put our minds together, I think we're the best in the freaking business when it comes to UFC DFS.
Hey man,
I think we can get an edge, man.
Yeah, we've had some legendary nights on it for sure. A lot of new faces though on this one. Well, new faces and some faces we haven't seen in a while. So there's always edge when that happens.
Yeah, the Russian invasion, man. We're in Abu Dhabi, so
we got the Avs and the Evs all over the place. But I'm liking a lot of Evs this week, so let's see how it goes.
All right, Easy. Well, let's kick it off, man. Let me close this one out. Okay. First up, we got Teixeira Ulabekov versus Alan Nascimento. Teixeira can be had for 9.4K on DraftKings. Nascimento at 6.8K. Easy. What do you got for us here in this one?
But this one, honestly, personally, I don't know if I'll play either one of them, or if I do, it'll probably be the Nascimento side as a punt. But Teixeira, I'm just not sold on Teixeira yet. In a perfect world, he should win this match, should just land a couple takedowns, lay and pray. Boring match to start the card off. But yeah, in a perfect world, Teixeira should win, but 9,400, I don't know if I'm gonna get there.
Yeah, I agree with 1,000% everything you just said there. I'm confident in the Teixeira victory, but I think it goes the distance. And for 9.4K, we want more for our money on DraftKings.
Exactly. I definitely want more. But then again, with this new scoring, the edge is with wrestlers now. So there's a way he can get there. I just don't think he just doesn't excite me. Let me put it that way.
Yeah, he's one of those who'll take you down and then just grapple fuck you on the ground for 3 rounds. That's it.
Exactly. And at 9.4K, there's a couple other fighters that I kind of like more than that.
Exactly. We got tons of wrestlers, man. So
tons of them.
Yeah, this is the first time I think I'll fade a first fight. Normally I like to pick them up because they're normally low owned, but I think this one I will fade because I can't pick Nascimento.
Yeah, I know. You know what's crazy is for the longest we had this thing where the first fight we always picked the underdog, And hey, it had a nice little run for a couple months where the underdog always wins, always low owned, and then starts us off nice on the card. But this one, like you said, Nascimento is a pure punt play just to fit other things in, but really just not an exciting first fight.
Yeah, kind of disappointing, but there are plenty more.
15
All right,
fights.
let's get to the next one. And it's, these are hard names to pronounce. So if I butcher them, get over it. All right. We got Hugh Yanzong versus Andre Petrosky. Easy. What you got here?
I'm on the underdog here. There's not much 7K underdogs that I like on this slate, or at least that have the upside of who here. So I'm not sold on Petrosky. I don't know what UFC's seeing him, but he's a good wrestler, good grappler, and Who is a terrible wrestler and grappler. But if Who could just survive that first round, he has a real chance of winning this fight and really just finishing this fight because he has some pop. He used to be a heavyweight. Petrosky's gas tank is horrible. I mean, he struggled against Michael Gilmore, who is terrible. Like, Michael Gilmore, I think I got a good chance at finishing him in the first round. So I'm taking my shots with Who at 7,600. Has that finish upside, could put up a big score. And last time I checked any sort of ownership, Who was coming in below 10%. So I'm definitely taking my shots here.
Yeah. I'm going to have exposure to both sides. So Hugh is 7.6. Petrosky is 8.6.
Yeah.
But what really, when I saw the face-off today, I thought Andre would be a lot bigger.
Oh, no. Who was a heavyweight back in the day? Like, he debuted as a heavyweight in the UFC, so he's big.
He has a 3.5-year layoff, but I think that just made him better. He doesn't have. I just hope he worked on his takedown defense in that 3.5 years off. He's 0-2 in the UFC, but you know what? He can. He has a great chin, but Andre his striking is just so green, and
green. If he can't finish you on the ground, you have a good chance of beating him because his gas tank is shit. And I mean, you could argue that Who has the better strength of schedule too, because honestly, I could see Collier whooping Petrosky's ass. And we've seen Collier actually cash as an underdog not too long ago. So I don't know. Who is one of those underdogs where I'm kind of confident. Well, confidence the wrong word to use, but I'm gonna just use it anyway.
Yeah, I agree with you 100% on that. 7.6K low ownership. I mean, Andre is just a wrestler, grappler. Again, we all know about the gas tank. We'll watch Tough. We already know what's up. And like Eazy said, like you said, man, he fought a guy that shouldn't. He's not even UFC caliber,
Exactly. So, and arguably lost the second round against that guy.
Exactly. But yeah, I'm with you, bro. Let's get this underdog hick.
Hell yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's move right along, man. Next up, we got Marquand Amirkhani versus Lerone Murphy, man. This one should be a banger.
Hey, I love this matchup. And once again, I'm on the underdog here. 6,900, okay. Mr. Finland, man. The front choke king. I don't know. Lerone Murphy has this bad habit of giving up his back, especially when he gets taken down. And a guy like Amirkhani, who is so good at snatching up chokes, that's a bad situation to put yourself in. At 6,900, I just got to take some shots. I'll be exposed to both sides, but man, 6,900 is too good of a price tag for Amirkhani to not take some shots here. His gas tank is shit too, but he could zombie his way through the third round. And I don't think Lerone Murphy is the guy that's going to finish him. He hits hard, but Amirkhani is big too, and he's strong, so he could ragdoll Murphy here in this spot. Get those takedowns, and if it's finishing early, it's definitely Amirkhani being the one doing the finishing. 6,900, if he gets you a win and a finish, you can't be mad at that. And now if you pair him up with Who, you could do pretty much anything you want with your lineup.
Yeah, that's a hot take, Eazy. 6.9K, and it's funny because I had it written down on my notes as a live dog. Just a quick rundown. Amirkhani, he's a grappler, basically a striker versus grappler match here. Wrestler, striker. His cardio, I mean, he fades in fights, you know. But he goes for a lot of takedowns, and what that does is
That's going to drain the gas tank.
Exactly. And Lerone Murphy's just a pure striker. Very low volume, though. Very low.
Yeah,
He's 9'3", right? So, but he rips the body. I don't know. And I think this is another one, too, where I think I might go the distance.
Yeah.
So if you're backing Murphy here, if you're going to put him on your roster at 9'3",
way too expensive. Way too expensive. And he's historically not been a great DraftKings scorer either. So at 9'3", he has to finish to pay that off. And like you said, you don't see the finish. And if on my end, the only person I see finishing is Americani by sub. So yeah, it's an interesting spot for sure.
Yeah, I like the take, man. I will have exposure to both. It's dog or pass for me, man. I'm with you on Murakami on this one because I'm not paying 9'3" for Murphy for best case scenario a decision, right? And I just think the line's too wide. Yeah, luckily hopefully you get a 60, right?
Yeah, exactly. You'd be happy to get a 60 with this new scoring as well. The new scoring favors the grapplers.
Yeah. All right, let's move right along, man. All right, we might have to help me out with this one, Eazy. Next up, we got Michael. How you pronounce it?
Olashaychuk.
That's good enough for me, man.
Now the other dude, I just go with Shamil G. That's it.
Shamil Gamzatov. Gamzatov. So Michael, let's call him Michael. He could be had for 7.8. Shamil for 8.4. What do you got here, Eazy?
Honestly, man, this is my fade fight. One of my fade fights. We got 15 fights. I'm not even going to try to waste my time with this one. I would back Michael, but he's not a great scorer either. I mean, his last win, he only scored like 59 points because I had him in that spot against Blachowicz and just didn't work out like we wanted it. So this fight is two strikers, not much DFS upside, so I'm going to just stay away from it. We got 15 fights. We got way better spots to pick at.
Yeah, for me, I agree. I mean, so 7-8 versus 8-4. I mean, a lot of people are on Michael in this fight for 7.8, but it's just so close. And I don't like rostering fighters in fights where it's this close. I don't have a strong lead on either side. I think it's a coin flip.
Yeah, I feel that. Plus, if we knew that Shamil could implement his wrestling game, because he's one of those Russians that favor striking more. But if we knew he would like implement his wrestling game, he would have been a better pick for me. But if he wants to just stand up with Mikhail, the fight's just Mikhail will land more volume and probably land the better shots, the more optically pleasing shots. So I could see him squeaking out a decision, but ultimately I just want no parts of this fight.
Yeah, same here. I mean, the pick for me is going to be Michael at 7-8, but again, I'd rather fade it. I'm with you 100%, man.
Facts, man.
All right, well, let's move right along. All right, we got Elizu Zalowski versus Benoit Saint Dewey. I believe that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
Elizu could be had at 8.5K. Benoit can be had at 7.7K. Who you got here, Eazy? This should be a good one.
I'm on Easy Z, man. Zaleski dos Santos. I think he can knock out Saint Denis in this spot. But really, in spots like this, when you got a debuting fighter going up against a vet, I always like to pick the vet because the strength of schedule is different. Like this dude's coming off some real shady. Well, let's just say it as it is. He's a can crusher. Now he's facing a vet at 8,500 with legit finishing upside and lower owned as well from what I last saw in ownership. Yeah, give me the Zaleski side here.
Wow. I'm with you 100%. Even at weigh-ins, I mean, I wasn't really sold on Benoit. It's one of my most confident picks too at 8.5K, and I think you get a finish.
Zaleski's legit, man. And let me open up DraftKings real quick and just look at his strength of schedule. Like it's a huge difference. And I always value strength of schedule, especially when it comes to debuting fighters, because Zaleski knocked out Sean Strickland, and Sean Strickland is hard to knock out. I mean, he head kick knocked him out. So that's more than enough for me to pick him in this spot at 8,500.
Yeah, and for a finish, I think he's going to finish him. So for 8,500, that's DraftKings and FanDuel gold to me.
Exactly.
So yeah, I'm with you, man. The pick is Eazy, man. All right, so let's roll right along here. Next up, we got Albert Duraev.
Yep.
Sorry.
Duraev, something like that.
There we go.
One of my Ev boys, man.
We got two Evs. We got Roman Kopelev here. So let's see here. So Albert is 9.2K.
Yep.
Roman is 7K. Easy. This is my most confident pick here on the card as far as 9K players. I like Albert at 9.2K, and I think he gets the finish here. What do you got?
Hey, same thing as you, man. The one thing, once I saw that Kopylov got submitted by Carl Robeson, that was more than enough for me to be 100% on Duraev in this spot. And Duraev is mean, man. He's like a great value Hamzat Chimaev, who's also on this card. So I'm looking forward to watching him fight. And like you, he's one of my favorite 9K plays on this card.
Yeah, and I agree. And on FanDuel, too, I think you can throw him in at captain. I think he might be a lower owned captain on FanDuel.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because I think everyone's just going to put Chimaev there and then just set it and forget it. So good way to get different on FanDuel. I haven't even looked at ownership yet, but yeah, by far my most confident pick on the slate. Give me Duraev here at 9.2 by finish.
Yeah, once I saw that Kopylov lost to Carl Robeson by sub, that was more than enough for me. I mean, Robeson's one of the worst wrestlers in that, one of the worst grapplers in that division. So, yeah, that was more than enough.
And it's short notice. He's taken 2 years off. I don't think he's got any better. I mean,
exactly.
All right. Next up, this one should be good. This one, I'm hearing a little both sides on this one. People are picking.
Yep.
You want to help me with the name here?
We got Zubair Tuhugov and Ricardo Ramos.
Awesome. Thank you, Easy. Yep. So Tugabayev, 8.3K, Ramos 7.9K. What do you got here, man?
The 8.3K price tag is good for Zubair, but if he doesn't get it done early, man, it gets real dicey towards the end of the fight. And he's not a volume fighter. Like, he has pop in his hands, and he's not a wrestling Russian either. So he has pop in his hands, but if he doesn't get it done early, you're going to sweat this one. Because Ramos can turn it on late, but he can also break too. So I'm having a tough time figuring it out, but for the sake of this stream, I'll rock with Tuhugov.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I mean, he's he's got no cardio in my book.
Yeah.
Like you said, he's got to get it done easy. I mean, easy. He's got to get it done in the first round, or he's in deep trouble because Ramos could
come on late.
What's that?
Yeah, I said Ramos can't come on late, man. And, Zubair knows how to, pace himself, but the way he does it is it's not aesthetically pleasing at all because he's just backing up, running around the cage. I mean, we saw Hakeem Daoud, who famously keep telling him, stop running in the middle of the fight. So, and he ended up losing that fight too because it's just not aesthetically pleasing the way he fights. But he does have pop and can knock out Ramos here. So it's a very interesting spot.
Yeah, and Ramos too, he'll take his time, man. He's low output. So I think that'll be his game plan here is to try and take this to the second, third round. It may possibly try for a finish in the third, man. But yeah, my pick, I'm gonna take Ramos here for the official pick, but I don't know how much of this fight I'm gonna have.
Honestly, if I was playing one lineup, this fight would be a fade for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'd have to play at least about 5 to 10 lineups to even start considering this fight. Because, it's 15 fights, so there's a lot of spots, and you might want to just find a solid core that you're, really confident in. That's the best advice I could give people.
Well, that's 100%, man. 100% true. With this many fights, where before a couple weeks ago we had so few fights, we had to kind of force. You don't got to do this. You don't got to do that in this card, man.
Facts. Because you got way more options.
Well, we got some options here. We got my girl here, my girlfriend, Amanda Rivas at 8.2K, going up versus the deadly Verna Jandiroba. Did I say that correctly?
Yeah, Jandiroba.
Jandiroba, there we go. And it's an 8.2 for Amanda, 8K for Verna. I'm personally Easy. I'm gonna take the dog here at 8K, and I feel pretty confident that she gets her out of there too. I like Verna. I think she gets a sub here. And Rebus does not like getting hit in the face. We all know that. As much as I love this woman, I can't let it fuck with my money. You know what I'm saying? What do you got here?
Hey, sorry to all the simp betters out here, but I'm on the Verna side too. Nice. Because Verna has pop in her hands. I mean, we saw her break Murata's orbital and hand in the last fight. Her striking was terrible, but she keeps working on it. Every single time we see her, her striking's getting better and better. And you said it best, Rivas hates to get hit. And we still don't know how bad her chin truly is because we saw Marina Rodriguez just starch her on the feet. And grappling-wise, they're both high-level jiu-jitsu players, but whoever Verna is crushing on top, man. Yeah. Like, I like Verna a lot at 8K. Wouldn't be surprised if Rebus won, but I just see Verna finishing this fight, so I'm rocking with Verna too.
Yeah, and I think for 8K, I think there's value there. And I'm gonna look at the ownership too and see what that's rocking.
Like Verna could legitimately, if this were a 5-round fight, I would definitely be playing Verna, but Verna could legitimately outscore Tuhugov in a loss if Tuhugov would have went to decision. And she could definitely outscore some winners like Michael O, for example, in a decision loss. So I like Verna in this spot. She's one of those dogs that's gonna fight for your money. The output's gonna be there. She's not gonna fold. And I think Rebus could be broken.
I tell you what, at weigh-in, she looked pretty rough.
I mean, she always
looked pretty rough. As pretty as she is, she did not look like she had a good weight cut.
Yep. I mean, in the face-off, she was probably struggling to find out which way Verna was looking.
Looking like that's all in the mind games. Yeah, looking like DFS space at 3 a.m. at the club. You know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to tell you. After a couple of them Henny shots, he's all over the place. That's why he got the shades on every time.
Good point, man. Hey. Good point. Because in the weigh-offs, I hate when they wear shades because you can't read the eyes.
That's the first red flag right there.
Exactly.
That's the first red flag.
All right, man. Next up, we got a banger here. We got Magomed Ankalaev versus Volkan Ozdemir. Magomed can be had at 9.1K. Volkan can be had at 7.1. I'm interested to hear your take here, Eazy. What you got?
This is going to be a fun fight to watch. 91, I wish Magomed was in the 8K range, but I don't mind going to him in 9,100. I love watching this dude fight, man. He's so talented. And honestly, it's between him and Yuri Prohaska that I see being the next light heavyweight champions in this division. Volkan, he's a vet. He's tough, man, but I just think Ankalaev wins this spot. Now, if it stays standing for too long, Ankalaev can be a little too low volume, so that could make it dicey. But if he mixes in the takedowns, I mean, should be easy going. And also, if he could just rip to the body a little bit, drain Volkan's gas tank a little bit more, should be an easy fight. In a perfect world, Ankalaev wins. But yeah, I'm rocking with him. And in a decision, I mean, we're in Abu Dhabi. I don't see any of the Evs losing a decision in Abu Dhabi.
Here's where I'm going to differ. I agree with the pick.
Yeah.
However, I think Magomed gets a finish here, man.
Oh, word.
Volkan's coming off that nasty knockout, man.
Oh, yeah. Prohaska deaded him.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, that was brutal. I remember the exact fight you're talking about.
You guys, I believe it was a kick to the head too. I mean, it was not cool. And then at weigh-ins, he looked sucked out. He looked terrible at weigh-in. And you can't be like that coming in against Magomed.
Yeah.
So not only is a pick Magomed, I agree with you on that, but at 9.1K, I think it's a great play. Oh, you already know wrestling, grappling that scores high on DraftKings and FanDuel.
Oh,
and
yeah.
9-1 won't break your salary bank either. So yeah, give me Magomed in a pretty confident pick here.
Oh yeah, I like the take. Love it.
I'm back.
Yo, you good? You
I
good?
hit the wrong the wrong back button.
Hey, trust me. Once I start live streaming, a lot of that's gonna happen,
Yeah.
which
I
I
mean,
plan on doing soon.
yeah, check out my last couple UFC videos. For some reason, I do it during the UFC videos. All right, man. Let's get back on track. Sorry about that,
All
guys.
right.
Next up, so we were talking in the club today,
Right.
man. Jingalang Lee, man. We were talking about what was that movie with Eddie Murphy with
Jangalang, the
you go
life
Jingalang,
when they were
Jingalang.
in when they were in prison. I know exactly what you're talking about. Jangalang.
Oh, God
Man,
rest his soul, man. I miss Bernie
man.
Mac.
One of my
Um,
favorite comedians of all time.
oh man, when he said "fuck them kids," man. Oh
Man, Bernie was a classic.
yeah, he was, man. So we got Jengalang Lee at 6'7" against the People's Champion. Crown him already, why don't you? Hazmat Chimaev, guys. So Chimaev's
Man,
9.5, Lee is 6'7". So easy, real quick. This kind of concerned me at weigh-ins, and I think it was kind of bullshit. So Chimaev missed weight the first attempt, and instead of getting the box of shame, they bring out the towel.
Okay.
And you can clearly see he's hanging on to the bars. And they didn't say shit about it. They didn't say nothing. So he's already getting that, what do they call it? The Dana white privilege going on right now. It's already going on with Hazmat.
I mean,
That's
hey,
kind of concerning to me.
Hazmat sells tickets, man. He puts butts in seats, so you know Dana White loves that. And the kid is willing to fight any and everybody on any day and any time. So they'll do anything to protect him. And he's also coming back from a nasty, fight with COVID. So I'm excited to see him back because he's a fun fighter to watch. And this is an interesting spot, though.
It's interesting. Yeah. I mean, he retired for he had such a bad COVID. He said, "I'm retired. I'm done." He thought
he was pretty much done with the sport. So
what kind of shape is he in? Right? It's a step up in competition.
Yeah.
Jingalang is no joke. He's a striker.
He's a striker, but his takedown defense ain't worth shit. His as long as Chimaev comes in with his regular game plan, his gas tank, but I think he tends to keep himself in great shape. Of course, with everything that's happened, we gotta, take everything with a grain of salt. But I think he'll be good here. The one thing that scares me is Jangalang does pack a punch, so we don't know what Chimaev's chin is really like. So 6,700 is worth us 25-cent or $1 lineup, man. Just throw him in somewhere. Hey, just in case, he swings that one punch and then, Chimaev's just eating the canvas. But in a perfect world, Chimaev should win here. Now, that $9,500 price tag is steep. Like, he can pay it off, but he's no Merab, man. Merab's the only person that I'll see at 9,500 and not even bat an eye. Because I know every time he fights is 180 or more.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm with you, man. The pick is Chimaev, but it's concerning with all the other stuff going on. And when I saw that weigh-in, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. So
yeah,
if it gets out of the first round easy, we've never seen Chimaev out of that first round.
I mean, we've never seen him get hit. Like, he's only gotten hit like with one significant strike through 3 UFC fights.
Yep.
As fascinating as that is, we still have a lot of question marks on Chimaev. He's still really good, though.
Oh, yeah. I mean, come on now. I mean, let's face it. There hasn't been this much hype since a young Conor McGregor.
Facts.
But I agree. If you're playing a lot of lineups, I would have a little bit of sprinkle exposure to Lee at 6.7K.
Definitely.
Because what I've seen is concerning to me. But yeah, the pick's Chimaev. I'm not going to go on here and say Lee's going to get the upset because I don't think it's going to happen, but it's the fight game, man.
It's the fight game, man. Anything can happen. They both got 4-ounce gloves on.
Exactly. All right, man. We're getting up there. So
running through it.
We got another banger here, the big boys. We got Alexander Volkov, a.k.a. Drago, at 8.9K, which I think is way too cheap, versus Marcin Tybura at 7.3K. Now, Tybura did look slim and fit in the weigh-ins. I will give him that. He came ready, man. He's ready for this fight. But
okay.
Volkov, I think, is my second most confident pick on this card at 8.9K. I think you get a finish in the first round.
Hey,
What's
man,
your take here?
I'm on the same page, man. I actually did a guest appearance on another channel, and I talked about how much Volkov is undervalued pretty much in this spot. Because Tybura, he's been on a nice little 4 or 5 fight win streak, but look at the competition. Volkov will blow through all of those guys. And Tybura, we've been seeing him get rocked, get his ass beat till he gets the takedown. Now, Volkov takedown defense ain't really worth much, but he still has a decent get-up game. I mean, Curtis Blade took him down 14 times, but he got up every single time pretty much. And his striking is definitely levels ahead of Tybura. And Tybura has to close distance in a big cage. Remember, it's not the Apex anymore. It's a bigger cage, so more space for Volkov to move around. Volkov is like, what, 6'8", 6'7", and Tybura is barely 6 feet tall, so that's a lot of range to cover right there. And Volkov's striking is slick, especially if he doesn't respect you. Like, if he respects you like a Cyril Gane, you could see him a little bit more, reserved in his striking. But against Tybura, he's going to blast through him. And I see a first-round knockout, possibly early second knockout here in this spot.
1000% agree. If you guys have never seen Volkov, wait till you see how big this man is.
He is huge. Like, he is huge as hell.
They call him Drago for a reason. But yeah, the picks
got a sick back tattoo as well.
Yeah.
Like, sick ass back tattoo. And ever since he got that back tattoo, he's been dusting fools.
You got to pay for it. You probably had to pay extra because they had to put extra ink on that big ass back.
Got it colored and everything. It's crazy.
All right, man. Here we go. We got Islam. God damn it! I know his last name, and I always mess it up.
I feel that.
Islam.
He's one of my Evs. Call them the Ev brothers, man.
Makhachev.
Yeah.
And then we got Dan Hooker for crying out loud. Talk about differences in names. Islam could be had for 9.6. We got Dan Hooker. Man, this guy will fight anybody, any notice. He don't care at, what is he, 6'6"?
Yeah, pretty much.
6'6".
He's a tall, lanky dude.
Who do you got here?
Man. I hate this one because I love both guys. Like, City Kickboxing is my favorite gym in MMA. Of course, where Dan Hooker, Israel Adesanya, Volkanovski all come from. But it's tough picking against cousin Islam, man. This dude he's destined to be champion. Like, they're just warming the belt for him. And once he gets past Dan Hooker, whoever wins between Oliveira and Poirier will be facing him early next year. It's just the wrestling. Dan Hooker has never fought somebody that's going to smother him like Islam will. Islam's striking has gotten better. Now, Hooker does pack a punch, and, all it takes is one. And Islam's only loss, he was knocked out, but he's gotten better ever since. Once he takes you down and they lock in that damn Dagestani handcuff, it's just over with. You're not getting back up. So I like Islam. Could potentially score high. 9,600 is a steep price tag, but if anybody could pay it off, it is him.
Yeah, I agree 1,000%. I'm taking Islam by Peruvian necktie. All right. Dan Hooker's not easy.
You got a Russian going to Peru.
Yep, exactly. So yeah, if you can find ways to get him at 9.6K, I mean, you got to take some shots with some dogs, but
you got to play some fighters that you don't like.
Exactly. All right. I'd love to say Dan Hooker's a live dog, but I don't see it.
I mean, if you need a reason to play Dan Hooker, he does have some decent knees up the middle. And when you're shooting for a takedown, you might just have to eat one or two. So it all depends on where's Makhachev's chin at.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point. It is a fight game. We'll keep saying it, but
oh yeah,
it is, man. All right, are you ready? We got the co-main event, Eazy. Peter Yan at 8.8K versus Corey the Sandman Sandhagen at 7.4K. Eazy. What you got, man?
I'm a big fan of Peter Yan in this spot. everything I've seen all week has been nothing but Corey Sandhagen love. I get it. The guy's a great striker, but there's levels to this shit, man. And Peter Yan is a killer. Peter Yan is basically like the male version of Valentina Shevchenko, where he's gonna light you up. And wrestling wise, we know that's the biggest hole in Corey Sandhagen's game. And I see Yan getting at least 3 takedowns in this fight, controlling, on the ground and pound. Just ask Jose Aldo how that feels when you're right under Peter Yan. I mean, he dribbled his head off the canvas. So I see Peter Yan probably by 4th round TKO in this spot. 8,800 is a gift. And that's one of the reasons why I could even fade the main event and be comfortable with it, because we got another 5-rounder right here that I could see scoring better. Like, I get why everybody's on Sandhagen. 7,400 is cheap. But, man, Peter Yan is too good. Like, Peter Yan is really, really good.
All right, Eazy. Don't hate me. I'm on the Sandhagen side on this one.
Hey, I love it. We got to have different takes at some point.
Exactly.
People hear different stuff.
Peter Yan, here's what concerned me against Aljamain Sterling. He did get, if you remember, he got rocked a couple times in that fight.
Yeah.
Which is alarming against a dangerous guy like Sandhagen. I think Sandhagen has a puncher's chance. Now, Peter Yan is the champ, in my opinion. I'm sure everybody's opinion. He's the current champion. But I'm going to take my shot here, and my shot on one of my dogs is going to be Corey Sandhagen at 7.4K. And a greasy decision, split decision.
Okay. So you got it going all 5.
I do. Both these guys are hard to finish.
Okay.
That's my take, but it's DraftKings, so we don't really, 7.4K, you just pretty much take a victory any way you can get it.
Facts. I mean, the price tag is definitely very, very cheap. But, man, Peter Yan, in my eyes, Peter Yan is one of the best fighters in the UFC right now. But I definitely get why you would go to Corey Sandhagen, because a 25-minute kickboxing match, Sandhagen does have the better volume, because Yan sometimes can't stand and, stare a little bit too much. But I think the takedowns will be the X factor here in this matchup.
Yeah, that's totally fair. That's what Peter Yan has that Sandhagen does not, a ground game, takedowns. Yep. And that scores better, too, on DraftKings.
Yep. And 8,800, you're getting me a low-owned Yan at 8,800, I just got to take that shot.
Yeah, if he's low-owned, like, don't get me wrong. If I look at ownership early in the morning and he's, like, under 20%, I'm smashing Peter Yan.
Same here.
But the pick is Sandhagen. And the same thing, if Sandhagen is chalky, give me Peter Yan. Like, for me, it depends on the ownership tomorrow. But the pick for me is going to be Sandhagen for the video. But it's kind of an ownership play, man. Because
I'm interested to see, man. It sucks for you guys in the West Coast because it starts at like, what, 7 a.m.?
7:30 a.m. So my ass got to get up at least by 6.
Man, I feel for you. I'm struggling at 10 a.m. in the East Coast.
Who you telling?
I go to bed at 8 a.m. So I just got to take a nap and wake right back up.
Exactly.
Hell, I got soccer in the morning too.
So
the grind don't stop, man.
Because that's what we do. That's what you guys do, and that's what we do. We do all sports. So
hell yeah.
Weekends, woo! We don't sleep. Don't do easy.
Not at all. I mean, I'm up doing NBA videos at 3 a.m. at night. Then just by the time it's uploaded and everything ready, got the promo tweets and all, it's about 6, 7 a.m. and I got to go to work at 12. It's a struggle.
Thank God you're still young, Eazy. You can do it.
Yeah.
Like me. All right. Are you ready for the main event, Eazy?
Main event of the evening.
You want to announce it? Take it away,
sir. Hey, man. It sucks that we won't have Bruce Buffer this week.
Yeah.
Nobody could get you more hype for a fight than Bruce Buffer. By the time he's done going through his little thing, man, I'm ready to run through a wall. Like, I'm so hyped, like I'm the one fighting in the main event. But hey, I'm on old man Glover.
Yes,
I'm on old man Glover in this fight,
Let's go.
Like, we all want to see Glover hold the UFC championship before he retires. And I feel like if he loses here, he will retire. But the wrestling, man, I take a Brazilian jiu-jitsu practitioner over a Polish Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belt because like Glover, I don't know. It's more of a gut feeling thing. I just see Jan having some success in the striking. He could potentially rock Glover, but it seems like whenever you rock Glover is when he starts to fight better. And once he's seeing stars and then grabs that takedown, next thing you know, he's controlling for the rest of the round. And I don't even I could see a finish, but I mainly think they'll play jiu-jitsu for most of the fight, and you just see Glover rack up that control time and potentially steal 3 or 4 out of the 5 rounds. But how do you see it?
I see it the same exact way. So Jan is 9K, Glover 7.2. Okay. I can't get that Lionheart fight out of my head where in between rounds, Anthony's sitting on the stool telling his coaches he's knocking my teeth out.
Yeah.
On top of him. I mean, his top game, if they go to the ground and Glover's on top, man, he finds his way to the top. That might be a wrap. I think people are just overlooking him because of his age.
Yeah. That's an age play.
Power, I mean, you could get hit. We know Teixeira can get rocked. We've seen it in every fight, but every fight he gets rocked, you count him out, he shoots, and he somehow finds a way to get you down to the ground and grinds out a greasy win. That's what I'm seeing here. I'm with you. I love the value at 7.2, and man, he's been in the game for a minute, and this is his last shot. Jan can still, he's 37. He can still do it again, technically. If they have a rematch, run it back, maybe I pick Jan the next time. But this time, give me Glover for 7.2K.
7.2K. I like it, man. I'd rather take Glover 7.2K than Sandhagen 7.4, but honestly, I see why you'd play both.
Yep, exactly. I mean, but I hope Glover wins. I want to see it. He's earned it, man. He's beat a lot of good guys, a lot of good people.
I mean, he has a good strength of schedule, both him and Jan, and they've beat some of the same people too. So it'll be interesting to watch the fight for sure.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. It's gonna be, it's the usual 6-hour marathon. Then next weekend we got another paper.
Yeah,
that's gonna be like the WrestleMania of the UFC. That card.
We got I Broke Your Face versus Make America Great Again.
Oh my goodness,
it should be a good fight.
I mean, don't get me wrong, the champ's gonna scorch him again, but I can't wait for that card. This card should be fun. You're gonna see a lot of wrestling, right?
Yep. Whole lot of wrestling, potentially a lot of finishes. So should be a fun card. And don't be surprised when the dogs come barking tomorrow. Do not be surprised.
All right, Eazy. So what is your strategy that you're looking at? Let me pick your brain for a second here before we get going.
8K range, man. I love the 8K range this week. And I'm trying to avoid overloading my lineup with just looking at it like an NBA slate where there's a lot of great pay-ups, but there's not enough value. That's how I'm treating it. So I'm finding the 2 or 3 best value plays I could find, which is in the 7K range. So the 2 or 3 dogs that I like the most, and I try to limit my dogs to 1 or 2. That's been like my most profitable strategy, especially if you play cash. And MMA cash is the easiest money you can make in this industry. But in a GPP, I like 2 dogs at most, unless it's one of those cards where you got 3 or 4 that could legitimately win. But let's say this week, I really like Americani and I really like Who. Now it's super risky playing them 2, but they have some of the highest upside between all the dogs and Jandiroba as well. If you pick 2 of them or even Jandiroba or all 3, you could do anything you want with your lineup after that. So now you just got to pick and choose which 9K fighters you think are going to finish and which 8K fighters you think are going to finish. But I think the 8K range is loaded enough where you don't have to go dumpster diving on your lineup to find those 30% chance win fighters where you could take a dog that has a 50% chance and then stack up on, let's say, Dos Santos. You got Jan. You got Blachowicz at only 9K. You got Volkov at only 8,900. So it's stacked, man. You don't really need to get up the Islams and the hookers. And you know, the casual players, the casual players are gonna go up to the 95, 9600 fighters because they think that those fighters are the guaranteed wins. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I'm looking at it so far this week.
I'm right there with you. I think I don't know if the hardest part's going to be picking the dogs. I think it's getting the 9K fighters right.
Yeah. True. That's always the hardest part because you pick Lerone Murphy thinking that it's a guaranteed win, and he does win. But it's a decision win where he only landed 40 strikes. No takedowns, no control time. You're getting 52 points at best. And now you paid 9,300. You got the win, but you were better off just punting to get that 52 points than spending 9.3K while having to play another value that ends up losing or getting knocked out. And now you're basically losing from the jump on your lineup. But that's the tricky part about cards like these with a lot of fights, because people tend to play some fighters that really should have never been on their lineups, but just wanting to pay up to that high 9K range.
Yeah, the worst thing I do sometimes, I look back, I go, man, why did I roster that guy?
Exactly.
You don't want to do that,
And gut feeling is always king, man. If you got a gut feeling on a fighter, just hammer on it. Because you don't want to regret it later on, like, damn, I should have played him. Nah, just play him, and then whatever happens, happens.
Exactly. All right, Eazy. Tell them where you're from, straight up. No, I'm just kidding. Everyone know where we can find you on YouTube, on Twitter. His Twitter is fire, guys. The YouTube, we got to get these guys over 1,000. The fact that they're not over 1,000 subs yet is criminal.
Yeah, I know.
Eazy,
YouTube.
where can we find you, man?
Hey, you can find me on YouTube, the DFS Whisperers. Twitter, DFS Whisperers. We even on TikTok now, god damn it. The DFS Whisperers on TikTok. Everywhere, DFS Whisperers. Come join the fun, and then let's make some money in chat.
All right, guys. So make sure you do me a favor. Give this man a follow. Great content. If they don't make you, I'll have to give you this. If they don't make you laugh in one of their videos, don't subscribe. That's my challenge to you. Again, I've been watching Eazy and the boys.
That's a hard challenge right there.
It is.
That's a hard challenge.
And then don't let me get space on this video with us, because all three of us will be in one.
Yeah, we gotta have an NBA video together at least once.
Oh, absolutely.
At least once.
You guys want comedy. There's going to be some comedy. But again, thank you, Eazy, so much for coming on, man. Let's make this a regular. Maybe do it next time on your channel. We'll mix it up, man. But I appreciate all your insight. I always see you on top of the winner cards on these things. So that's going to do it, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's get this bread. Don't take shit from nobody. That's easy. I'm Gabriel Skywalker. DFS for life. DFSclub.com. And we are out.